When new earth is upon us and upon me, then I can finally give myself and others freely big love. Hello, beautiful being. Are you the kind of person that has been spending their life holding back, giving big love? What's big love? I'm talking about really wanting to show your love and affection to others around you. This has been my entire life experience. I have held back so many times from wanting to show my deep appreciation and love for others out of fear of being rejected. The other day, I was having some downtime. I'm learning to rest. And I was watching this beautiful episode of a TV show, and this little boy, he gave to his stepfather the most beautiful expression of big love that I have seen in the longest time. It melted my heart. It brought me to tears. This is that kind of unapologetic, authentic expression of love that a little boy can give to his dad. It was beautiful. And it triggered in me a deep, deep memory, forgotten long ago within me. I had once lived like this. I had once lived like this. I remember it in my core. I remember loving like this. But this permission I gave myself to love this way was gradually programmed out of me. This little boy was loving his father with intensity, without reservation. It was this fierce, real love and affection. It was big love being given without the masks of the socialization process. The first few times I was rejected by the world, I remember. I mean, I don't remember the exact details, but I feel that sense of knowing what it was that I experienced as I was rejected for truly loving with my being, with my core, with my soul. The bullies in the playground emphasized this rejection for me in my life when I was growing up. The adults around me too, who didn't love themselves, were shamed by this intimate display of love. It reminded them of their own void inside. I kept trying to love, but slowly it became a fractured part of my inner child. It didn't really go beyond my childhood. This part of me stayed hidden and reserved out of fear of being hurt again and rejected. I became jaded, as many of us have. Love wasn't embraced in this world the way I felt it would or could be. I didn't get it, but I also didn't have the means to try and understand it or articulate the way I was feeling. Just didn't feel good. I've continued to hold on to this wound of rejection my whole life, taking it personally and into my unconscious state. I projected this into my relationships, my familial relationships, my platonic relationships, and my romantic relationships. I continued to hold back this big love because I didn't want to feel rejected again. I felt the trauma of withholding my deep and big love repeated over and over again. You see, I used to drink, and I've done many videos about why we use coping mechanisms, but I found alcohol was a wonderful way for me to take off that tight shoe and stop trying to control and hide back all my true feelings, my fears and hurts, but also my big love. And so when I drank, just as the law of rhythm will tell you, if you go from one extreme to the next, it will come out extreme So I went from withholding big love to drinking and then exploding with big love, but it doesn't come out right when you're drinking, does it? It does not get received in the intended way at all. You become that drunk, affectionate, touchy-feeling, annoying person. And indeed, I was perceived as annoying. And that hurt. As I said, the act of giving big love is not well received, even when you're sober. I felt this rejection again from my friends and my family every time. I would feel remorse. I would feel guilt. But now, as I give myself time to rest, I'm recognizing the importance of stillness, of conserving energy when needed, of respite from doing, producing, and achieving. Now that I've had time to be in stillness and be quiet enough to hear the still small voice of spirit, of wisdom, I finally see that this little girl that is within me, that has been fractured and hurt and holding back, has been trying to get my attention the whole time. This time I'm listening. I ask myself, how have I not been giving this kind of big love to myself? And then, like a torch illuminating my shadows, I very quickly was shown a full inventory of reasons I have blocked or stifled or stopped this big love expression in my life. Had these conditions that were required to be met before I could give myself permission to give myself big love. And these conditions you might relate to. Not until I have produced something of value can I give myself big love. I must work first, and when the work is done, I can give myself this big love. I'm going to wait until the weekend, and then I'll have time to love in a big way. I'm going to wait until others show approval that I am worthy of giving myself this big love. I'm going to wait until things are good and I am successful in this life externally. And then I deserve this kind of big love. Maybe only then. Not until I'm in a good mood should I feel like giving myself big love. Not until I've stuck with my daily strict schedule that I've put on myself, that includes meditation, should I be worthy of big love. Only when I'm alone and safe from judgment of others can I give myself big love. Or the clincher, when new earth is upon us and upon me, then I can finally give myself and others freely big love. Now, obviously, you might relate to some of those things. I was pleasantly shocked to receive this insight. I had spent a lifetime in shame for feeling like I was the only one who wanted to give big love. Why do we feel free to give affection and big love to children, but we hold back when it comes to adults? It's the fear of re-experiencing that initial trauma of rejection that keeps us stuck in this smallness, in this fear, in this inauthenticity. I believe big love is our soul expressing itself via the beloved spirit, by source. And I believe it's just as important to let it all out without judging, without blocking it, without trying to fix it or stifle it. And just like we do with healthy shadow work, where we work with our our shadows, with our all these negative parts of us, the fear, the anger, sadness, the guilt, the frustration, the shame, all of these parts of us that we stifled, that were stifled within us when we were young. Just like we work with them in embracing that expression without judging it as bad, invalidating and acknowledging those parts of us that never got to be fully let go and released because we stopped them, we blocked them. Just like we do that process, we need to do this with big love. We need to do this to allow ourselves to give and receive without stopping that floodgate of pure love. Can you imagine how differently you might be experiencing energy flow in your life if you allowed yourself to just feel and give love in the biggest way you feel at the time? I hope this has been inspiring for you. This was a big one for me, and I'm very grateful to have received this insight, and I want to share that with you. Let's love unapologetically and not be concerned by the judgment of those who feel rejection and trauma and feel their triggers and hurt coming up because they see that love they've been withholding from themselves. Let's give it. And by doing that, we give ourselves permission to give that love to ourselves, and we honor others and give others permission to give that love to themselves. I'm sure that makes sense. So I hope this has been helpful. Please like, subscribe, and share if you found something important in this message, and have a beautiful day. See ya.